Welcome back, everyone, to the Playing with Matches podcast, part 2. I am your host, Easton Bennett. Excited to have you guys on here for another episode, and I'm excited to talk to you guys today. We're going to be talking a little bit about what the company is that I'm even running, for those of you who don't know. So I'll talk about it, tell you the things I do, tell you when it was started, all the backstory, so then you kind of have that under your belt if you want to refer back to it or if you didn't know in the first place. So after we talk about that, I'm going to be talking about working for free, when you should do it, when you shouldn't do it, some of my strategies, maybe some of my stories for when I was beginning or when I was just starting. So we'll talk about that, and then maybe at the end we'll chat about a couple more things, but nothing in particular. So first off, let's just talk about Bennett Creative Media as a whole. I started it in 2018 unofficially in the summer. I took my parents' camera and I kind of said, hey, actually, it was the beginning of 2018, just after Christmas. My grandma bought me this podcast set actually and a few things. So I took my parents' camera, brought it back to Steinbach where I was at the time, and I decided that I wanted to film like almost like a YouTube show that was kind of resembling Jimmy Fallon, but I know that I realized early on that it was going tits up, so I snipped that in the bud, and then I started making videos. So I've been watching Peter McKinnon on YouTube. He's a Canadian filmmaker, and he makes some cool videos. So I kind of got inspired from him, and I started making some below average videos and started taking some photos, and I really liked the whole process of putting a video together and then showing it to people. So I liked that it took me like 3 or 4 hours to make a video, edit it, plan it, all that stuff, and then I came out with a 2 minute or 3 minute edit or whatever, even 30 seconds. And I like that feeling. I don't know why, but I like the feeling of so much work going behind one thing and then being able to show that in an actual physical form, which was the video or photo at that time. Obviously, photos didn't take as long as videos, but I enjoyed both of them. I still like videos a little bit more than I do like photos, so maybe that'll change one day. I'm not entirely sure, but that's where it kind of started. And I took my parents' camera, and then once I came back for the summer, I started reaching out to some businesses to create free content for them, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And I made some videos, kind of honed my skills a little bit. And then when I came back up to Steinbach in the fall, I couldn't work for the businesses in Minot anymore. So I started reaching out to businesses in Steinbach, doing some videos for them. Did a couple for the big board at the hockey rink. Did a couple just for clients around town that wanted some videos. I mainly did it just so I could sharpen my skills. I wasn't looking for any money or compensation by any means, but I just wanted to learn and I just wanted to sharpen my skills for when I came back to Minot. So I did that in 2018, and then early 2019, which is a few months ago, I kind of pushed more and more towards the video company, and I knew this was something that I wanted to do, but I didn't want it to be just videos because I know project work, it can get kind of wishy-washy here and there. You might have work, you might not. So I created a plan to almost make it so I could commoditize the videos and make it sustainable and almost more of, how should I word this here? Make it more so that I tried to make it so it was more, or I'm trying, not tried, I'm trying to make it so it's more financially dependable than just project work, and who knows what kind of projects I'm going to have at that time. So I started off with that, filed for an LLC, got that up and going. So now it's actually a legitimate business, and got my website built and all that. And now I'm off to the races. I'm trying to get my feet wet in Minot and actually build it. So that's how it kind of started. Now I can tell you guys a little bit about what I do. So I like to say it's a full service digital agency. Obviously, some of the things that I offer are video production, brand strategy, creative, and I also have a branch that branches off of Bennett Creative Media, which I call Bennett Creative Experience, and that's going to kind of be the event hosting and that sort of thing. So that's still in the works. I have one event coming up in June. You guys might have heard of it or not. We can talk about that a little bit later. But let's just start. Full service digital agency. I like to say that because I don't want to pin myself as just one thing. I don't want to say, oh, I'm the video production guy and that's all I can do, right? So full service digital agency, that's video, that's photo, that's strategy meetings, that's creative planning, that's obviously the business, the influencer festival, which, like I said, we'll talk about later, but that's more on the experience side and the event hosting. And so I wanted to get a bunch of different things under my belt so then I can give the client whatever they're looking for. I can't just say, oh, I can't do that, I'm the video guy, right? So you want to, obviously, you've all heard the saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So that's what I'm trying not to do. I have a few other plans of ways I can branch out and offer my services, whether that be weddings or senior pictures or that kind of thing. So now I'll talk about these individually just so you can kind of get a rough guess or whatever of what they are. So video production, I like to just call the production, which is on my website. And that's literally just producing your idea or your video or your photo or campaign, maybe whatever you have. But that's if you came to us, you reached out to us and you said, we have a video, we want it to be 30 seconds. Here's the script, here's the idea, here's what we want it to be. We need someone to produce it. Me, I'd look it over, I'd determine if it's something that I wanted to do or not. Most of the time, probably yes, unless it's I can't do it, then I'd refer you to someone else in town that I would know. But if we do the project, I said do. If we do the project, then we'd get the ball rolling. We'd come in, we'd produce your video, film it, edit it, all that good stuff. Give it to you in whatever form you needed. So whether you want that for TVs or broadcast or whatever you want it for, you can get that form. And then once you have the video and we have the compensation that was agreed upon, it's done. That's all it is, right? So we just produce the video, nothing more, nothing less. Obviously, we probably try to upsell you because that's just how business works, right? And then we go from there. So that's the production side of it. So that's just one thing we offer. The second thing we offer is strategy. Now, this doesn't include any really execution on ideas or plans. Strategy is mainly for people that are looking to grow their online presence, but they just want the tips and tricks and knowledge to actually do so. So this is where we'd sit down for a meeting. Beforehand, I would do market research and kind of get to know your business a little bit. And then we would sit down and we would chat about actual tactical ideas and strategies that you can implement into your business, whether that be hashtags on Instagram or contextual content for each platform you're using, or how to use Instagram stories and Instagram TV and stuff like that. We'd go over those things, and then once we have a plan and some tactical ideas, my team and I would put together almost like a portfolio or a plan that you have in the physical, like in your hand, and you can look it over and go back and say, are we doing this right? Are we following the plan? Are we doing what we talked about? And then we go from there. So the strategy is literally just your plan. We don't execute on anything. We would obviously want to try to tell you like, hey, we'd rather produce this and execute the ideas that we have laid forth instead of you going on it on your own. But if you wish not to and you wish to just part after the meeting that we have and just take the plan and run, that is totally okay too. Now prices for that obviously vary, but we're mainly set on an hourly price, which you can check out on the website. So that's the strategy, just a meeting, just a strategy plan, macro plan that you have just so you can execute and grow your business. Okay, so the third thing that we offer is actually called the creative service. For this, it's mainly us focusing all of our efforts on mapping out a creative strategy for your business's marketing content production, and then we execute on that. So if you do decide to go this way, you would get the meeting just like in the strategy, and we would come up with a macro plan and tactical ideas to do all of the things that your brand and business wants to accomplish, and then we would execute actually on those plans and those strategies. So for this, we'd work a month in ahead. So if we wanted to have content for June, we would be working on the June content all of May, in which we'd come up with ideas and plans and imaginative content to bring your brand's story to life. And we would do that. Once June comes, we'd give you a flash drive. You have all the content to post on your social media, and you have the plan of what it tells you to do. So it tells you where to post it, which hashtags to use, when to run ads. Now for an extra fee, we can obviously work something out where we would actually run it. So we would log into your guys' account, we would run all your posting, all your social media, and we'd go from there. So that's a creative. That's really our main service we offer, and that's probably my favorite too, because no one wants to get just a strategy package and then hold on to it and not do anything with it, right? So if you get the strategy package and you get the video production and content production, and you bundle those together, you're gonna have a great plan. You're gonna have great content, high quality content for all your social media, and it's gonna change your business in the long run. Because if we're being honest here, all of the eyes are on social media. So if you aren't producing content as many times as you can a day, then you're going to be vulnerable in the long run, right? Because literally all of the eyes are on social media, and that's just the way you reach people. And with the tools out there for Facebook targeted ads and Facebook dark posts and Instagram story ads and Google AdWords and YouTube pre-roll ads based on Google search query, all that kind of stuff, it's just, there's so many tools and tactics that you can use to reach your audience. And I think that's just really where the creative package for us comes into play. So that's really our main thing. Now the fourth thing we offer is the Bennett Creative Experience, which is mainly experiencing what Bennett Creative Media is all about. This is an event hosting branch of the business. So we have one event actually under that branch, and it's the Business Influencer Festival, which is June 19th and 20th, where it's a 2-day festival composed of keynotes and networking opportunities, and it's going to be a blast. Bennett Creative Experience, we're hoping to just host and create events for the youth to learn about business, because when I was growing up, I didn't really necessarily have anything to learn about it. I kind of just had to do it myself. But I feel like it would be a great opportunity for the youth to actually go to some events and learn what starting a business is all about, and kind of get a head start on running a business if they wanted to. So that's what we're really focusing on for that side of things. We're super interested in getting as many events across the state, across the country as we can. Obviously, we're going to start small. We're going to start here in Minot. We have our event this June, so we're excited about that. But those are the four main things we do. So we full service digital agency that does video production, which is obviously just producing your ideas; strategy, which is the meeting to get you a plan; creative, which is video production or content production and the strategy bundled together into a creative package, which we would execute on; and then the experience, which is the event hosting and creating. If you want to know any more about those, you can contact me on the website. I have a fill out form, or you can reach out to me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever. You know where to find me. We'll go from there, and we can get the ball rolling. So now that you guys kind of have an idea of what Bennett Creative Media is, let's talk about what the actual podcast is supposed to be about today, and that is working for free. So when I was starting Bennett Creative Media, I wasn't entirely sure where to start. So I was reading a couple things, and it's just, you got to start, right? So the first thing you need is a portfolio. So these are some times when I'd say you should work for free and when it's a good idea. And number one is when you need to build a portfolio. So if you're just starting out and you have no professional work done or under your belt to show other people, then you need to build a reel or a portfolio that you can show people. So when I first started, I reached out to a couple of businesses in Minot, and I said, hey, I'll make you a free video. I'm just trying to get some videos on my belt, just trying to add to my portfolio. Is it okay once I'm done if I use it? 99% of the time they say yes, because obviously it's more exposure for them if you're showing people their work. So 99% of the time they say yes. You'll have something for your portfolio, and that's just how you got to start, right? You got to work for free. You can't go into a business and say, hey, I'll make you a video, but it's going to be $500. And they say, okay, can we see some work you've done? And you say, oh, well, I've never done work for any businesses. Like, that That doesn't make sense, right? No one with a brain would actually let you do that. And most of the time, if you do free work, said do again, if you do free work, they almost feel like they need to compensate you. So they'll get you a gift card, or they'll send you a thank you letter, or some kind of thing to almost pay you but not pay you. So keep that in mind too. Obviously don't expect it, but it definitely can happen. So just use those free videos that you're doing for businesses to kind of sharpen your skills and do them to the best quality you can. Don't just think, oh, they're not paying me, so I'm not going to try very hard. Even if it's free, do it like they're paying you 20 grand, and that work is going to be super, super good. And it doesn't even matter if you're not doing videos. Say it's a painting, or say it's a drawing, or say you're doing a campaign for them for some ads. Do that to your best of the ability, and if they're blown away by what you do, they're probably going to hire you again, right? They're likely going to want to work with you, want more of that same content or whatever you produce for them. So obviously when you're starting, build your portfolio, do some free work. It's not a bad idea. Now the second option is when you need to get your foot in the door. So say you really want to work for a big client, or maybe you want to get into an industry. Maybe I want to make videos for, automotive dealerships, right? I've never made a car video. I've never worked with a dealership, and I want to get my foot in the door. Maybe I call up a local dealership and I say, hey, I'm trying to get my foot in the door into the car industry. Can I make a free commercial for you guys? And they say, awesome, sure, let's do it. You get your foot in the door. Once you give them the video, they're like, oh my God, this video is awesome. We want you to make all of our content, right? And just like that, it takes one interaction. Your foot's in the door. Obviously, that's the saying they use. But you make one free video for them, and it's the snowball effect, and all of a sudden you're doing all of their work, right? So if you want to get your foot in the door, you really need to show someone, but you don't want to charge them because they have all of the leverage. You say, hey, I'll make a free video. All I have is time. That's all I can provide for you. So I'll make you a free video, and you never know where that's going to go. So keep that in mind if you're trying to work with a particular client. Another way you could do it is if you want to impress a big client. So say I wanted to work for, I don't know, who's someone famous. Say I wanted to work for Aaron Rodgers. Now this might be a little blown out of proportion, but if I send Aaron Rodgers an Instagram DM and I say, hey, I want to make a 2-hour documentary on you, you don't have to do anything. I'm just going to follow you around with a camera, and then I'm going to produce it, and I'm going to send you the video, right? Now, he doesn't have to do anything for that, right? He just has to say yes and just has to give up his privacy and let you be around. Now, obviously, he has all the leverage, so you have to provide value, and the value would be producing the video for him. So that's one way you want to get it. If you want to impress someone, a big client, or you want to maybe start a new line of work, like say you want to get into documentary filmmaking, or you want to get into actual feature films, one way to get your foot in the door is to do free work or spec work. Maybe do it up front. Now the fourth thing, or the fourth time when you should do free work, is if it's a passion project. Now passion projects, these are one of my favorite things. You almost do it just because you want to do it, and you don't care if you get paid. So maybe you love what you're filming, or maybe you really believe or can get behind the story, and that's kind of when you want to do a passion project. I'm doing one this summer for, well, I don't really want to tell you guys yet, but I'm doing a passion project this summer. It's kind of going to be a documentary type thing, and I'm super excited about it, mainly because it's something that I love and something that I used to be a part of that I want to give back to. So I'm doing that, and also it's kind of like what I talked about before. I want to get my foot in the door with documentary filmmaking and long form content instead of short commercial work. So I feel like this get my foot in the door. I'm giving back to an organization that I was a part of, and if I do a good enough job, maybe other people will want me to do the same type of work, and I can say, hey, I did that one for free, but this is usually what I charge. Or if they say, hey, that work you did with so-and-so was awesome, how much do you charge for that? And then you can give them a number, right? So that's the fourth reason of when I think you should work for free. Passion projects, it's one of my favorite. I do them all the time. And it's a great way to sharpen your skills and hone your ability to create great work. So I really believe in that one. Now let's talk about a couple things of when I think you shouldn't work for free. The first time you shouldn't work for free, in my opinion, is if you are already established in your industry and it's not a passion project. So that would be, say you have a bunch of work under your belt, you have done professional work for many businesses, you have a great portfolio, and someone comes to you and wants a video or they want some content produced, and they say, but we want it to be for free, but it's not a passion project, it's not something you love, it's not something you really want to take your time, your valuable time, and work on it for free, then I would say no. Don't take on a project for free just because someone can't pay for it, which is number two. When the client can't pay for it or afford you, don't take it on just because they can't. It's not your fault that that you are charging money. Like, it's a business. You need to be making money. So obviously, if it's not a passion project and you're already pretty well established and your work is very well known, it's okay to turn people down for your work. Some people just aren't the right fit for clientele. So if it's okay to say no, is what all I'm trying to say. Second thing, if the client can't afford you or pay for you at all, it's okay to just say, hey, I know that you are looking for some video work and my prices may be too much for you to afford, but I know someone that's up and coming in the industry that would maybe want to work, and then maybe you can refer them to someone else, and maybe that person that you refer them to, if they get the job and they get some money, even a smaller amount, maybe they'll give you some kickback, and it all comes around in a big circle in the end. So if you don't want to do the work or you can't do the work, it's always good to refer it to someone, but don't take a video or a project for free if you're already established and you're already pretty well known and it's not a passion project. It's okay to say no. The third reason or time you shouldn't work for free, in my opinion, is for family. Okay, so the third time I think you shouldn't work for free is for family. Now this one obviously is a little bit stingy, a little bit, take it as you wish, take it with a grain of salt, but even if someone in your family owns a business or wants some work done, maybe it's not a passion project and maybe it's something you don't really want to do, I wouldn't do it for free just because they're family. Now, obviously, discounted work, you can for sure do that if you want to give your family a discount. I do recommend that. I mean, they are family, so maybe discounted work, but definitely don't do it for free because you're trying to run a business and they should understand that you need to make money as a business. So it's not just, hey, you do videos, so you can do this for me for free, right? So obviously discounted work, I totally can get behind that, but for free, definitely not. That's just in my opinion. If you want to do free work for your family, then go for it. The more the merrier. Like, I'm not your boss, I'm not your mom, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but in my opinion, I'd just do it for a discounted price, maybe lower than what you'd usually do it for, and go from there. So those are a couple times when I don't think you should work for free. Now let's wrap this up a little bit here. Let's talk about my strategies for working for free. I think the first strategy is if you're just starting. I talked about this a little bit earlier, but literally reach out to as many businesses as you can and say, hey, I'll make a free video for you, or hey, I'll run one free ad campaign for you, or hey, I'll do you one painting for your store. Whatever it might be, just reach out and ask as many people as you can until you get a portfolio under your belt. That's super, super, super important to be able to show other people and other businesses your portfolio and the work you've done. So make sure you actually get some work under your belt that you can show people. So that's my first strategy. Reach out to as many businesses as you can. Literally call them, walk into the business, say, hey, can I create a video for you? Do whatever you need to. Send them a message on Facebook. A lot of the time, if it's free, they'll let you do it because everyone loves free stuff. And you never know what kind of relationship that might turn into in the future. Now, the second thing I'd recommend, some strategies, is once you work for free, upsell them a little bit, right? Or continue your relationship. Don't just do the free work and then say, okay, thanks for letting me do it, and then peace out, walk out of the building, right? Do the free work and then maybe say, hey, if you guys need more content, this is what I do, and I'd love to do this for you some more, right? So try to upsell them. Don't just cut off the relationship right after you're done with that project, right? Keep going, keep trying to sell to them and continuing that relationship. So that kind of bleeds into my last strategy for you guys, and that's to do extra while you're there. So if you're doing a free project, let's just say it's video. If you're doing a free video for a business and you walk in there and all you shoot is whatever you need for that video, you walk out, produce, and give it to them, you don't have any leverage, right? Now, if I go into the same business and I film everything I need for the original agreed upon free video, and then maybe I take some extra pictures of their food, or if they're a food company, or maybe I take some pictures of the outside of their building, or maybe I take some other video clips and put them into an Instagram story, and I give them the free video, and then they say, oh, awesome, it's great, I love it. Or maybe they say, oh, this sucks, I don't want it. Hopefully it's the first one, but if they say, yeah, I love it, this is awesome, thanks again, and then you can send them another email and say, I thank you for the opportunity to let me do the free video. Here is some more stuff that I took while I was there. Here's some pictures. If you guys want to keep doing business together, this is what the work would be like. I just took these extra photos because I had time. I took this extra video because I thought it'd be cool, and maybe throw a watermark over it when you send it to them just so they can't use it. Well, I mean, they can, but at least your stuff would be on there if they did. But yeah, take some extra work and then say, here's what I can provide to you. Here's the value I can bring to you guys. So moral of the story, if you're doing a free video for a client, take extra content or take extra pictures or whatever you're doing. Maybe you're doing a painting, maybe paint them and then paint a smaller one that they would have an idea for. Maybe that you're doing paintings for a coffee shop wall. You're like, here's the one you can put up, but here's a smaller one you can put by your cash register. Just go the extra mile. It's going to pay off in the long run. More times than not, they're going to want to work together again, unless your shit sucks, then that's probably on you. But literally just go that extra mile, get that extra work done, and use that to leverage them, because they have all the leverage in the beginning. And if you're not doing that, then you're never going to have any leverage, never going to have anything to pull with. So those are a few strategies I have for working for free. Hopefully they helped you guys. They didn't take very much time. Some of them are probably pretty obvious, just getting videos under your portfolio and taking extra content and stuff like that. But hopefully they helped you guys. Hopefully they can get your guys' foot in the door at some businesses or whatever you guys are doing. But definitely don't think working for free is a bad thing. I'm not saying work for free forever, because obviously you need to get paid. It's a business. You need to be able to sustain yourself with money. But definitely at the beginning, doing free work is awesome. And if you want to do passion projects, I think that's awesome too. They really allow you to just enjoy what you're doing and do your best work. So those are a few strategies when you should work for free, when you shouldn't work for free, hopefully to help you. If you have any questions about working for free, or maybe you have any questions about what my video company is that we talked about earlier, or maybe you have some questions about my strategies, or maybe you have some of your strategies yourself and you want to give me some feedback. I'd love to learn. I don't care if I'm wrong. Maybe you guys think I'm wrong, but I'd love to learn. I want to hear from you guys. So hopefully this helped you guys. Hopefully it helps you in the future. I'm still going to live by these strategies and die by the strategies. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. That's all I got for this episode of the podcast. Thank you guys for listening. I think this is probably around 35-40 minutes. So if you did watch or listen to the whole thing, thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. It means more than you think that you consume my content. I know it's going to be slow here in the early stages, but I appreciate it a lot. And thank you guys that have stuck around from the beginning. So that's all I got for you. I'll talk to you guys in the next podcast. See you guys in the next video. Follow me on Instagram at easton.bennett and at Bennett Creative Media. Let's chat on there. Content daily on there. And yeah, peace out. Thank you guys for listening. And we'll see you in the next podcast or video. See you later.